Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. Death is something every human being, or indeed every living creature, will have to face one way or another. It can be a sensitive topic that is not easily discussed, but it should be at the forefront of one's thoughts as a reminder that nothing is permanent. Or at the very least, one should find inspiration, clarity, and embrace death to establish meaningful connections in their lifetime. Today we look to Persona 3 and explore its themes of life and death throughout the journey. Persona 3's rich narrative intricately weaves together the lives of its characters, who are centered around the enigmatic protagonist, otherwise canonically known as Makoto Yuki. Alongside him, a diverse group of high school students, including outliers such as a middle schooler, a robot, and even a dog, embark on a journey that transcends the boundaries of the ordinary. What sets these individuals apart is their unique ability to summon their persona, a manifestation of their innermost willpower, to confront and defeat the mystifying shadows. In delving into the thematic underpinnings of Persona 3, one cannot overlook its connection with Jungian psychology. The term persona, drawn from Jung's lexicon, refers to the masked individuals wear in their day-to-day interactions, a facade that conceals deeper truths. Conversely, the shadow represents those aspects of the self that are buried beneath the surface, the insecurities, doubts, and darker impulses that individuals often struggle to face. The mastery of Persona 3 lies in its adept fusion of these psychological concepts with its gameplay mechanics. As you navigate through the game's richly developed world, they are confronted with the challenge of summoning their persona to combat the shadows that threaten to engulf them. In doing so, they are not merely engaging in battles of physical prowess, but rather facing the manifestations of their own inner turmoil. Each victory in battle becomes a triumph over personal adversity, a testament to the character's resilience and growth. Through its immersive storytelling and well-crafted characters, the game imparts profound lessons about the importance of self-awareness, acceptance, and the courage to confront one's own shadow. In the intricate world of Persona 3, the concept of personae transcends mere gameplay mechanics, intertwining with deep narrative themes and psychological allegory. Personae, the manifestations of inner willpower, take the form of mythological or legendary figures, each imbued with symbolic significance that mirrors the characters they represent. This connection between the characters and their persona further serves as the exploration of Jungian psychology. Inspired by the Greek and Roman pantheon, Persona 3 introduces iconic deities such as Hermes and Cerberus as the personae of various team members. These mythological figures not only enhance the character's combat capabilities, but also imbue the narrative with symbolism, enriching the overall storytelling experience. The parallel between the characters and their personae serves as a mirror reflecting their inner conflicts and aspirations, encouraging you to explore the complexities of their psyche. As the game unfolds, you uncover the protagonist's ability to wield a variety of personae. a strategic gameplay feature that allows for customization and tactical prowess in combat. However, it is the protagonist's original persona and their ultimate persona that carry significant narrative weight within the story. These personae symbolize the protagonist's journey of self-discovery and acceptance, marking pivotal moments of growth and transformation. Likewise, other characters in the game possess their own unique personae, which evolve and strengthen as they confront their personal demons. This evolution parallels the characters' emotional development as they confront their inner conflicts and embrace their true identities. The integration of persona evolutions into the narrative underscores Persona 3's depth, demonstrating how these mechanics are not mere gameplay elements but integral aspects of the character's arcs, echoing themes of individuation and self-realization from Jungian psychology. Characters of Persona 3 lead seemingly normal lives, navigating the trials and tribulations of high school existence. However, their world is irrevocably altered when the clock strikes midnight, ushering in the enigmatic dark hour. This hidden hour, occurring between one day and the next, is perceptible only to those with the ability to wield a persona. During the dark hour, ordinary individuals are frozen in time, replaced by eerie coffins that serve as a haunting reminder of mortality. As members of the specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, S.E.E.S, the protagonists take it upon themselves to fight the shadows that roam freely during the dark hour. These malevolent entities, manifestations of humanity's collective fears and insecurities, threaten to plunge the world into chaos. Through their battles against the shadows, the members of S.E.E.S forge bonds of camaraderie and resilience in the face of adversity. The narrative's journey of Persona 3 begins with the arrival of the protagonist, the transfer student whose life takes an unexpected turn upon entering his new dormitory. Unbeknownst to him, the dorm is the base of operations for the S.E.E.S. The protagonist's arrival coincides with an attack on the dorm by an enemy shadow, plunging him headfirst into a world of supernatural peril. Amidst the chaos of the attack, the protagonist discovers an innate ability to summon a persona. His persona takes the form of Orpheus, a legendary figure from Greek mythology who famously journeyed to the underworld in a futile attempt to rescue his beloved Eurydice. This symbolism sets the stage for the protagonist's own journey into the depths of the human psyche, their inner demons and existential challenges along the way. However, the revelation of Orpheus is merely the beginning of the protagonist's odyssey. In a twist of fate, Orpheus is torn asunder, giving rise to another unique persona within the protagonist, Thanatos, the embodiment of death in Greek mythology. This dual persona dynamic not only highlights the protagonist's complexity, but also introduces a profound thematic element to the game's lore. The coexistence of Orpheus and Thanatos within the protagonist's psyche becomes a central point of intrigue, reflecting the duality of life and death inherent in the human experience. As the protagonist grapples with his newfound abilities and identity, he is drawn deeper into the mysteries surrounding S.E.E.S and the Dark Hour. The group is compelled to venture into Tartarus, a towering labyrinth that materializes during the Dark Hour, mirroring the depths of the underworld in Greek mythology. Within Tartarus, they face not only formidable shadows, but also their own fears and insecurities as they confront the existential challenges posed by their journey. Meanwhile, the protagonist finds himself haunted by the presence of S.E.E.S, a mysterious yet friendly boy who seems to possess knowledge of events beyond mortal comprehension. S.E.E.'s cryptic warnings and prophetic hints serve to deepen the intrigue surrounding the protagonist's destiny, hinting at a future fraught with peril and uncertainty. As the bond between the protagonist and S.E.E.S strengthens, so too does a sense of impending doom that looms over their every interaction. The culmination of S.E.E.'s efforts to quell the 13 powerful shadows within their city initially seems like a triumph, but it soon becomes apparent that their actions have unwittingly unleashed a grave and imminent threat upon humanity. It is at this pivotal moment that S.E.E.S bids the protagonist farewell, leaving him to grapple with the weight of the future that lies ahead. The revelation of this ominous twist underscores the game's exploration of existential themes, challenging you to face the consequences of their actions and the inevitability of fate. As the narrative of Persona 3 unfolds, the theme of death emerges as a central and pervasive force that shapes the lives of its characters in profound ways. With the addition of new members to the team, it becomes increasingly apparent how death has woven its tendrils into the fabric of their existence. Whether through personal losses or existential confrontations, each character must grapple with the spectre of death in order to persevere in the face of despair. In the latter part of the game, you delve deeper into the protagonist's backstory. They uncover a tragic incident from years ago involving shadows and resulting in the deaths of many civilians. The protagonist, then a young child, found himself caught in the midst of the chaos alongside his family. Tragically, both his parents perished in the turmoil. Moreover, the shadow responsible for the devastation proved too formidable to destroy and was instead sealed within the nearest vessel, the protagonist himself. As previously discussed, shadows represent the darker aspects of humanity made manifest. This particular shadow served as an embodiment of death and humanity's yearning for absolution. Known as S.E.E.S, it became an integral part of the protagonist's being, explaining the presence of his secondary persona, Thanatos. S.E.E.'s confinement within the protagonist also elucidates why no one else could perceive him. He existed solely within the protagonist, a literal manifestation of death carried within him. By vanquishing the 13 powerful shadows plaguing humanity during the Dark Hour, S.E.E.S inadvertently released S.E.E.S from his prison within the protagonist, causing further complications for the group. Eventually, S.E.E.S forms a bond with Ryoji, a new transfer student at their school. You may notice a striking resemblance between Ryoji and S.E.E.S, albeit in a more mature form. Ryoji, now embodying S.E.E.S, approaches S.E.E.S after befriending them, burdened by guilt. He reveals his true nature as the avatar of Nyx, goddess of the night in Greek mythology and mother of Thanatos. In the world of Persona 3, Nyx is depicted less as a deity and more as a catastrophic force unleashed by humanity's apathy. As Nyx's avatar, Ryoji is duty-bound to summon her to Earth, intending to eradicate all life due to humanity's collective negativity and indifference. Ryoji informs the protagonist of the impending catastrophe, offering them a final choice in an attempt to provide solace. He proposes a grim option, allowing the protagonist to kill him on the spot, thus sparing everyone the knowledge of their impending doom. This decision leads to a premature and melancholic ending, indicative of the game's disapproval. By rejecting Ryoji's offer, protagonists assert their determination to fight for the lives of all, despite the seemingly insurmountable odds paving the way for the true ending. At this pivotal juncture, the game's central message comes to a crescendo. While S.E.E.S has engaged with the nature of mortality throughout their journey, this decision amplifies that theme to a resounding degree. It's not merely about acknowledging the inevitability and enormity of death, it's about finding the resolve to persevere in spite of it. The game urges you to recognise that even in the face of our eventual demise, there may still be meaning to be found in our actions during our limited time on Earth. Opting not to end Ryoji's life and instead choosing to confront Nyx directly marks a solemn turning point. Ryoji departs with a sobering reminder that time is running short before Nyx's arrival, heralding the fall, an event that promises to extinguish all sign of life. Despite the grim outlook, S.E.E.S stands united, having forged a bond as near inseparable comrades throughout their year-long journey. They pledge to reunite on their school's graduation day, a symbolic gesture of defiance against the impending apocalypse. Yet, even amidst their determination to face the future with courage, the atmosphere in these final moments is laden with gravity. The once vibrant and lively soundtrack gives way to a more subdued and solemn tone. Background characters once bustling with life now stand in somber silence, some even succumbing to a sense of resignation as they join a doomsday cult. It's a poignant reflection of the impending doom that hangs over them, punctuating the weight of their impending battle against fate. When the long-awaited day arrives for the fall and the impending arrival of Nyx, S.E.E.S mobilizes for a final offensive, marching toward their adversary atop the towering fortress of Tartarus. Here, Ryoji emerges in the guise of Nyx avatar, a grim omen of the world's end. Despite S.E.E.S eventual triumph over the Nyx avatar, they find themselves powerless to prevent their imminent demise, overwhelmed by the might of Nyx itself. However, even in the face of certain doom, the protagonist retains the will to fight. With the unwavering support of their allies, they engage in a final showdown against Nyx itself. While framed as a traditional boss battle, it transcends mere gameplay mechanics, serving as an interactive narrative where each blow dealt by the enemy seems insurmountable. Yet, the protagonist persists, buoyed by the bonds forged with their companions throughout their journey. These relationships serve as the protagonist's purpose, fueling their determination to defy death until they can make their ultimate move. In a climactic moment, the protagonist unleashes a never-before-seen attack known as the Great Seal, wielding the power to imprison Nyx. However, the cost is steep. It demands the entirety of the protagonist's health. Nevertheless, they press on, ultimately triumphing over death itself, or so it appears. Following the intense battle with Nyx, the narrative fast forwards several months to the fateful graduation ceremony that S.E.E.S had pledged to reconvene at. Strangely, the memory of Nyx seems to have faded from the minds of everyone present, save for the protagonist and their robotic companion, Aegis. As they rest atop the school rooftop, the rest of S.E.E.S observes the ceremony from the auditorium below, yet one by one they recall the pact made before the fall and abandon the proceedings, racing to reunite with their comrades on the rooftop. In the game's poignant final moments, the protagonist and Aegis share a quiet moment as they bask in the fading sunlight. With heavy eyelids, the protagonist leans their head on Aegis' lap, savouring the serenity of the moment. As their companions draw near, the protagonist takes one last breath, a contented smile gracing their lips, having expended every ounce of their strength to seal Nyx away and fulfill their promise to their friends. The protagonist finally finds peace, their journey complete. This ending encapsulates two of the central themes of the game: the inevitability of death and the importance of nurturing meaningful connections with loved ones. Despite the poignant resonance of these themes, the conclusion evokes a sense of sorrow. Despite all the protagonist has accomplished, their ultimate fate is sealed, denying them the chance to save a life alongside those they fought so valiantly to protect. However, what often goes unnoticed about Persona 3 is its nuanced exploration of death. While death looms large throughout the narrative, the game goes beyond mere acknowledgement of mortality. It delves into perception of life's transience, emphasizing that while our time on this earth may be fleeting, it can also be imbued with deeper meaning and significance. Rather than simply delivering a stark warning of our mortality, Persona 3 implores you to seize the fleeting moments of their existence and infuse them with purpose and wonder. The bonds forged with characters throughout the game, whether within the ranks of S.E.E.S or among ordinary individuals encountered during mundane moments, reinforce the value of human connection. By aiding friends in overcoming difficult situations, you come to understand that while they may be unable to thwart overwhelming cosmic forces, they can still wield a positive influence while offering support to those they hold dear. The game imparts a poignant message about the significance of cultivating relationships, striving to improve the world, and indulging in activities that bring joy. These endeavours imbue life with meaning beyond mere existence, within the vast expanse of the universe. Persona 3 celebrates the potential for achievement within a lifetime, reminding you that while death is inevitable, it does not render their actions meaningless. Despite its overarching theme of mortality, the game exudes vibrancy and vitality. Its characters are multifaceted and dynamic, evolving through their struggles and triumphs. Although the narrative has its somber moments, the soundtrack predominantly exudes vitality and optimism. This juxtaposition encapsulates the game's central ethos: to embrace life fully despite the challenges it presents. Ultimately, Persona 3 in its entirety serves as an affirmation of resilience and optimism in the face of adversity. It's a beautifully tragic and melancholic tale that resonates deeply within me, and one that I will not easily forget. Thank you for joining me through this journey of Persona 3. I hope after this you will contemplate and reflect on your own lives in a meaningful way. Embrace those who are close to you, your friends, colleagues, teachers, and embrace life. Take care of yourself, adventurer, and I will see you next time.